Fuck you, I'm going home. Wait, what? Did it actually? The needle on the clock. Yeah, the needle on the clock in the hall is pointing to 8, and there's not a soul in sight. We are collecting to buy a bouquet of flowers for our dear friend Suzumi, who will be leaving us for a new school after the festival. 200 yen per person. Contact Ayumi Shinozaki for payment. Oh dear. Guess there's no Satoshi or Mashui or anyone else, huh? There's various notebooks inside with labels like 29 day duty log, an attendance roster. It's stacked with teaching materials, including the remote for an overhead projector. The shelves are filled with personal effects belonging to the Class 29 primary and assistant homeroom teachers. Wasn't there something about cat food? I remember something about cat food. Shinozaki! Hey, wake up! Well, she's breathing at least. Shinozaki! Come on, wake up already! Is she Nima? Huh? What? Take a look around. I can hardly believe it myself, but here we are. No way. We're back? For real? Is this really our school? It really is. Check it out. Here's my desk. Mine too. It's right here. I can't believe it. So it's true. Yeah, we made it. We're home. We're home. Fuck yeah. Suck on that, world. Where is everyone else? I never thought I'd live to see home again. Did we just go home? Venturing out in search of others, you find that even the janitor has likely gone home. The lights are out, and the halls are pitch black. Only the red glow of the light next to the fire extinguisher offers any respite from the quiet darkness of the school hallway. Standing around in the darkened colander. Colander? Yeah, standing in the darkened colander of the school building. God, that's an image I need to edit. Standing around in the darkened corridors of our school building at 8 in the evening just feels so surreal. As the thunder and rain grow in intensity, the windows begin to condensate with moisture, turning white in contrast to the corridor's sea of black. Is this reality? Was everything up until now just a bad dream? Where am I right now? And what am I doing? What? Shinozaki! What's wrong? Oh. Oh, what? What the hell? What the fuck is this? It's not over. Is it? They're trying to plain melt. Why? Why isn't it over? Why? Fuck! They're invading! It's you.
Hi, yeah, we're just here to take over.
No! No! I'm starting to lose my voice. Great. Go back! Don't come any closer! It was a rainy evening after school, just like this one. On the day I was kidnapped, I remember I had a fight with my mum that morning. Why is she telling us this? I've got no idea. I didn't want to see her face. So after school, I decided that instead of going home, I'd park myself in the outdoor walkway for a little and watch the rain. That's when Mr. Yoshikazu showed up. He sat down next to me. I told him all about my fight with Mum, and he listened really closely and just kept saying, He was sick and couldn't really speak much. He was a very kind man. I really liked him. But then... You too. I'm so sorry. She's so small. She must be a 5th grader. Yuki Kano, right? Thank you for what you did back there. For making the effort to help those of us who were killed in that school. Didn't we succeed though? Why are you still here? You didn't. But we returned your tongues. We gave you back the ability to tell your story. We even got your murderer to repent for what he did. Is it just that you can't forgive him, no matter what? Appeasing us isn't about forgiveness. It doesn't matter if we forgive or not. Repentance is between the criminal and the victim. It's the sole act capable of moving us. We exist as fragments of the sacred ground upon which heavenly host is sealed. I believe that moving us is your best course of action. But it's not enough. Because repentance just wasn't enough. So you're saying his words, the words spoken by the doll, weren't good enough to appease you? That's not... So, what then? Why do you feel the need to trap one innocent stranger after another in that godforsaken place? You child spirits are the ones who summoned us there, aren't you? That's not true. The hell do you mean by that? We're just the cogs that hold the closed spaces together. But you killed Suzumo! Wait. Huh? Let's hear her out. I'm just glad I was able to get even the two of you back to safety. Why the hell are you suddenly so concerned about us? I heard about a situation like this from a sister once. A lost soul whose life was ended violently and abruptly, leaving her with a mountain of worries and regrets. It's kind of like stopping short at the edge of madness, with all sorts of thoughts and feelings swirling about in your head. Your kindly nature and sudden hatred and panic begin to spin around and around. You just start acting out without any control. Your sister's some kind of medium or something? Yeah, sound like that. So what you're saying is, this little girl and the creepy little girl we met before are two sides of the same coin? Kinda. I feel sorry for you. I really do. So please, please, bring the rest of them back. Mojita, Mr. Shoto, everyone else, too. Bring them all back home. Come on. You can do it, right? I don't think that's possible anymore. Why not? Those closed spaces, they've eaten a lot of innocent souls. Far too many, in fact. The grudges of those who died there have filled every last corner of them. There's no room left. And because the agony and pain has nowhere else to go, it's begun feeding on the minds of souls like us who are bound there. It won't be long before I turn back into a vengeful spirit who attacks blindly and without mercy. Oh, fuck. So, we're gonna lose you as an ally then? Yeah, that's pretty much the rest of it. So, why don't you just hurry up and bring them home now? Isn't there any way for us to save Mojita and the others? There may be one way. What is it? I think you already know. You have to return to the closed spaces. Find all four of us Heavenly Host serial kidnapping and murder victims, and put us all to rest. Then the closed spaces won't have their cogs anymore. They should begin to fade from existence. And you might just get your friends back. You expect us to go back? And this time, instead of just having one person left to appease, we have to go back to the drawing board and appease all four of you? Why couldn't you just tell us the reason our previous efforts weren't good enough? What is there to hide? It's just something I don't want to remember. But if you really want to know, I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything that happened. Yuki's spirit gently took hold of Ayumi's hand, and in an instant their two beings seemed to merge together into a single mind. What's going on? Shirazaki! It hurts! It hurts! Huh? What happened to me? Didn't I pass out? So why am I so aware right now? I can't see a thing. I can't move. It's like that feeling you get when you're really tired. Sleep paralysis, I think. Where? Why can't I move? Sachiko Shinozaki, the little girl in the red dress and the only survivor of the horrific murders that occurred in Heavenly Host Elementary School. Following the incident, Sachiko's family fled from the area, moving to another prefecture to escape the frightful memories that remained there. Strangely, however, I've been unable to locate any other records of the Shinozaki family. No matter where I look, the only information I can find about them comes from newspaper reports on the Heavenly Host murders. Granted, when an elementary school becomes a stage for a grisly incident such as this, perpetrated by none other than the principal's own son, it stands to reason that the scandal would serve as the primary focus of public interest, with all other details fading into the background. So of course, after learning that Sachiko was safe, further news of her whereabouts was largely ignored in favour of the media circus surrounding the school. But there's more to it than that. People weren't just uninterested in learning of Sachiko's history or whereabouts. There was simply no data to be found. I can't move my body because of sleep paralysis, I guess. I can clearly see the room I'm in now. There's one boy and two girls in here, aside from myself. I recognize them. They're the children who were killed in Heavenly Host during the incident, but they're still alive. Unfortunately, they're all bound hand and foot, and just sprawled out on the floor. And so am I. That's the real reason I can't move. Someone, please save me. No, stop! No, please, no! I. Yeah, no, I can't see. Now I'm blindfolded. I can't see a thing that's happening to me. And since my hands or feet are tied up, I can't remove the blindfold either. Just makes everything so much worse. I guess because I can't see, I begin to listen more intensely. Helpless cries of the other children echo off the walls of the cramped room. I'm so terrified, it feels like my head's gonna explode. What are you doing to me? Why am I blindfolded? Untie me! Cut the ropes! I want to be able to use my hands and feet! Please! Please! I kept begging and pleading. All I heard in response was the man walking away from me. In order. Okay. In order? I've never heard screaming like this before. It's pure, primal terror, cutting through the air like a perfect sine wave. It's the boy at the end. Feels like he's been screaming for eternity. I think he's being killed right now. My God, what the fuck is he doing to him? No one deserves this. Why isn't God allowing him to just fall unconscious so he doesn't have to suffer? It's been at least half an hour now. Those inhuman screams of a young boy being ripped apart from the inside have finally come to a halt. No! 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 Without even a single moment of silence, the first of the girls in line is the next to scream for her life. And the symphony goes on. God, I can't take any more of this. Going mad. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Is it still going on? Come on. Just die already. Die already. God, what's wrong with me? You know what? I don't care. Just get it over with and leave me in peace. Finally, you're hearing a sound like a heavy object being dropped. The noises stopped. And the room grew quiet again. Those footsteps are getting closer. All my hair is standing on end at this point. Everything below my stomach feels frozen, like I've suddenly been stricken with severe diarrhea. In order. God, why am I relieved by her death? It means it's my turn next. Ah! Someone's got me by the hair. They're pulling my head up. Taking off my blindfold, which means I get to see the face of my killer. The 4 missing children were found in a basement room at Heavenly Host Elementary School, unused and officially sealed since the building's construction. When authorities entered, they were greeted with an inhumanely horrific sight. Based upon the evidence at hand, the murder weapon was determined to be a pair of large sewing scissors found in the hands of the accused. Investigators suspected some hesitation on the man's part, however, as the deceased victim's wounds did not indicate that his full strength had been used. Nonetheless, he had clearly acted with extreme malicious intent. The official cause of death for the 3 murdered victims had been listed as loss of blood following removal of the tongue. But the actual state of affairs was not quite so clinical, nor even so pleasant, if you can believe it. The following details have been extrapolated from information previously unreleased to the public, or at least previously unreported by news outlets. These details of the crime are based on the official police testimony of Sachiko Shinozaki herself. Evidently, the victims were bound, blindfolded, then spaced out on the floor, then killed. One by one. One was repeatedly stabbed in the abdomen with the aforementioned pair of scissors, and had many of his internal organs forcefully dug out. His discarded innards were found partially buried beneath the earthen floor of the basement room. Another was stabbed in the head dozens upon dozens of times, to an extent that all the flesh and bone above her jawline was minced away. With my blindfold removed, the sight that appeared before me was more horrific than anything I could possibly have imagined. The person staring back at me, brandishing a blood-soaked pair of sewing scissors, wasn't the large man from earlier at all. It was one of the children. It was a little girl, her face dyed red with the blood of her victims. She was staring intensely at me with soulless grey eyes. And then she just started laughing. She was opening and closing the bloodied scissors over and over again. The sound kept echoing throughout the room. Then she took those dull, rusty, thoroughly blood-soaked blades and slowly brought them closer and closer to my left eye. Ow! Why is it you? No! The third victim was stabbed in the left eye an indeterminate number of times, until her eyeball became soup-like in consistency. She was eventually just left like that, slowly bleeding to death in a horrific agony. Strangely, it was only after these mutilations had already been inflicted that the killer went back and severed the victims' tongues. Learning the truth about these proceedings is shocking, even to me, and makes it nearly impossible to accept the murderer as anything but a monster. And bearing witness to every moment of this was a 7-year-old girl named Sachiko. In many ways, she's the most pitiable and long-suffering of them all. But it was through her tearful, frightened testimony that Yoshikazu Yanagihori was officially charged. Now, going back to the hunt for information on this unfortunate girl's whereabouts, it was her words that ultimately led to Yoshikazu's sentencing. Therefore, it comes as no real surprise that sensitive information pertaining to her and her family would be withheld. That's to be expected. What's not expected, however, is that there's not even the slightest trace of this information left to find. It's almost as if it simply never existed. Therefore, I can't help but consider alternate possible explanations. And I remind you, this is just mere conjecture. But one question keeps nagging at the back of my mind. Was Yoshikazu Yanagihori really the murderer of the 3 victims? Is it possible this crime was not perpetuated by him at all? Think about it. In his final days, Yoshikazu was incapable of communicating with others through speech. And despite his childlike reverization, he'd always been a personable and friendly man. As the saying goes, he wouldn't have hurt a fly. All his relatives, friends, and neighbours confirmed as much, shocked to hear that such a kind man could possibly commit these unconscionable atrocities. He certainly had no motive for the crime. There was nothing for him to gain from it. Then again, he may simply have gone mad. Look at his father. It was around this same time that Principal Takamine Yanagihori suddenly began speaking in tongues and acting in a most peculiar way. Not to mention scribbling incomprehensible gibberish all over his walls, as if possessed. Seemed frightened of someone and would often be found crouching in the corner of his office, moaning and thrashing when visitors came by. If he could wind up in such a beleaguered state with no warning, then perhaps so could his son. I believe that we're looking at a curse far more powerful than anything man could devise. From the time it opened its doors to the day it closed them forever. Heavenly Host Elementary School's sealed basement room has existed as some form of cursed ground. And to find the underlying cause, we must go back beyond the infamous kidnapping and murder incident. Back a whole 20 years. I believe I may have found a clue that could shed some light on the situation. It may be a bit far-fetched as leads go, but it is a lead nonetheless. Regrettably, since Heavenly Host was not only closed down but demolished altogether, and another school built in its place, it's no longer possible to investigate the basement room directly. But my protege has found what may be the next best thing. Something that could make the impossible possible once more. Preparations are being made to pursue this lead even now. Be sure not to miss the next installment. It may be the skip of a lifetime. Hyo Kubiki 2003, August 22nd. Continued in Chapter 5! Holy shit! I expected to stop this about half an hour ago. Fuck. I definitely did not expect to finish the chapter. My voice is run raw. Okay. Oh man. I honestly expected only to record for about 40 or so minutes. We're currently at 2 hours 10 minutes. And I've only done the intro and outro bits for 2 videos. I know there's going to be a lot of cutting, but I'm definitely going to have to at least cut up the... maybe into 3. I'm not sure it would be enough for 4, but I just need to wait until the actual editing process. Anyway, I think we can probably... Nope, we can't skip that. Okay, I'll leave you with the credits. I'm going for a piss. Okay. Alright. Thank you very much for watching. You've been a beautiful audience. This has been Corpse Party. I have been Wackyla, and until next weekend, goodbye.